Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My dear brothers and sisters, I wanted to share an incident with you. And I want you to imagine and relive this moment. It is the 11th century Hijri and the Prophet ﷺ passes away. Now you can only imagine that this news doesn't just come as a shock, but as a disaster for the Sahabas. Because the Sahabas had given everything up for the Prophet ﷺ. They had given up their families, their wives, their children, their hometown. They had fought wars for the Prophet ﷺ, even against their own families, relatives. You can only imagine how shocked they were. Some of them lose their voices. Some of them, because of the weightage of the news, aren't able to remain standing, but they sit down, like Uthman radiallahu anhu. And some of them remain in denial, like Umar radiallahu anhu, where he comes up in front of the people and says, anyone who says that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is dead, I shall chop off his head with this sword. Now in this whole situation and drama, the only man who is capable and stays capable of keeping himself composed, a man who is soft and humble in personality, but when situation demands, his leadership and spokesmanship are unparalleled. And that is none other but Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, who comes up and says, "Oh Umar, stay quiet." But Umar refuses. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu moves to a side and the people follow him, and he starts speaking, says a very brief statement, but a legendary one. He says, "Man kana ya'budu Muhammad فإن محمدا قد مات ومن كان يعبد الله فإن الله حي لا يموت." He says, all those who used to worship Muhammad, let them know that Muhammad is dead. And all those who worship Allah, let them know that Allah is still alive and never dies. This statement comes as a new spirit and soul for the Sahaba. In fact, he continues and recites an ayah and says, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ أَفَإِن مَّاتَ أَوْ قُتِلَ انقلبتم على أعقابكم. That Muhammad is none other but a prophet, just like prophets before him. If he dies or he is killed, will you turn your backs? Now, the Sahabas with this realized that their mission is not over. In fact, it has only begun, and they have much more work to do and much more to struggle for. And that is the propagation of this deen, and so that it reaches us and our generations. In this situation, another thing happens as well, and that is the birth of a new leader, Khalifatu Rasulillah, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Join me in these 30 blessed days of Ramadan to study the 30 great years of the Khulafa Rashideen in Peshawar from the 1st of May to the 30th of May. I hope to see all of you guys there. This is Syed Sabih. Until next time, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.